We're alive. It's
It's
alive.
alive!
Oh, and now it's dead.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
I sent out some money looking for some stuff, and I got this package in the mail. We need something else to go with this because we're geeks, but you know what we need?
Hey, everybody. Thank Cthulhu. It's Sunday.
Hey.
Tom Dog, hey. How you doing? Feel free to hop in if you want to. We got Unwrapped going on. I got some money, so what did I do? I spent them on comics. Well,
As you do.
Yeah, well, see, Mile High Comics was having they've had a number of sales recently, and this was their 2 billion comics overstocked sale that they just had way too many. They were overfilling their warehouse, so they sold just pallets worth of them, and you got not very well sorted. Like, they didn't go and try to pick out all the rares or whatever, but they broke it into categories, and you could get, like Batman theme stuff, Superman theme stuff. And I went with Image Comics because I wasn't really wanting a specific character. I just wanted to check out all the different stuff from Image. I've been doing a lot of reading there. So I got 36 roughly sorted Image comics that are supposed to be...
Hey, it's John.
We have a John. Hello.
We haven't seen in 6+ months.
I know I'm the worst. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Better now that you're here, man.
Sorry, I'm running behind. Of course, I can't even show up on time.
Okay.
6 months running behind,
Yeah, they said in the
that's about
thing
good.
that these are supposed to be like 80% of the comics are supposed to be either fine, very fine, or near mint. So we'll see what we get going on here. And everybody, Ratatosker, he's got his tie on. It's a special occasion. His nephew Icarus, the flying squirrel, has come to visit.
I mean, that's a morbid name for a flying squirrel. That's morbid.
It's the name of the flying squirrel from Little Nemo.
No, I get. It's just very morbid. It's brutal. I love it. I have a deep appreciation for it.
Yeah, he's gonna burn up in the sun, man.
Yeah.
He can't drink right now because he's got family in, and he can't drink in front of the little ones.
He's waiting around for barbecue, right?
Waiting around for what?
The barbecue.
Wow.
Yeah. We went there. So how's everybody doing tonight? Now that I got all this is what we're doing out of the way.
I'm here and alive-ish.
I am sore in parts of my body I didn't even know I had. People are getting their taxes back, so everybody and their mother is coming to work and buying furniture.
Yeah.
And fun fact, those people do not like to assist when you load the furniture for them.
No,
So
Yeah.
I've probably picked up somewhere in the range of like 75 couches in the past 2 days.
Oh, jeez.
I worked at Lazy Boy for like 2 years at one point in time in the warehouse. Oh my god, I hated it so much.
Oh yeah, all of it hurts.
Everybody hurts.
I hurt myself
Podcast.
today.
Yeah, I did that. I'm not sure. I think I had a seizure because I like woke up. I'm like, oh fuck! Every muscle is pain,
Oh,
and my throat is pain, and I've been doing exercises, guys. Here's the thing. Anybody watching, if I can do this shit, I do it in bed. I got one of those gut busters. It's a spring with like the little foot paddles and the little holding bar, and I'm doing my setups. I do my arm curls and stuff, and so you use the tension of the thing. So you don't do like boing sit up. You like push and relieve against the tension. I've upped my reps, so I'm doing like 15 arm curls, 15 arm pulls, 25 sit-ups this way, 25 leg things this way, 25 leg things this way, and then I go, I can't move.
I mean, that's fantastic for you. I know that if I tried that, they would find me in like some kind of weird ball surrounded around the equipment, and they would have to get emergency services involved just
But
because I'm not
You're
coordinated.
doing it in bed. Doesn't the springiness of the bed kind of make it easier to do it? I mean, it seems sort of cheating.
Depends on the
don't it?
bed, actually.
It's not a very soft, springy bed. My bed. There's a history behind my bed. My bed used to be.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Listen,
boy,
I've dated a few girls in the
How
past.
like
second
after
episode
dark.
already.
And it's
Ooh.
nasty every time.
Okay. So this bed I have owned for
Too long, get a new bed.
like 26, 27 years.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
before
too long.
I
Get a new
got it.
bed.
So,
Somebody
as
else
somebody who
owned it.
sells beds, I just got a little sick inside. I need
Yeah.
to get a new bed.
Okay, but I don't want to get a new bed while I'm in a shitty apartment.
No. Here's the thing: 8 years. 8 years is all you get.
Yeah.
That's what you get. You have had yours 3 times that.
And
I
somebody
think
else
it's
time
owned
to
it
let it
before
go.
me, and before that, it belonged to a hotel.
Oh, good. So it was pre-loved to the point where it should have tapped out before you got it.
It's like a
Then
40-year-old
you
bed.
got it, and it's been hurting you ever since.
Well, I flipped it. I had to flip it because the springs were cutting through, and I had gouges like this long in my leg. You can still see the scars, and my.
I know
shoes
that you
are
can't
red.
see my eyes right now, but these are
Rolling in very
judgy,
hard.
angry eyes right now. That are
I
coming at you.
can't. Okay, but beds. Okay, I'm on disability.
If you have to flip the mattress, you need to flip it into the dumpster.
Very intense
Hey,
look.
Okay,
Take
but
it from
see,
Elsa and let it go.
Yes, do the frozen.
if as soon as I get a place where I'm not worried about like anything hurting the bed, then I will.
But the bed's hurting you.
Not
You're
anymore.
in an abusive relationship with your mattress right now.
Dude, you need to get a memory foam, and you can get them where they come in the covers, right? And the covers are waterproof, they're bug proof, they're dust proof,
You
they're
can buy a
everything
mattress
proof.
in a box, and at this point in time,
Yeah.
you'd probably be better off than you're doing right now.
Yeah.
They sell them
I
at
need-
Walmart. They're much cheaper there.
It's California King, and I kind of need the size.
Okay.
Listen,
No problem.
I guaranteed am bigger than you, and I have a California King. But if there was a mattress that I was sleeping on that was attacking me violently,
Why
I
you make a movie
would make
about this?
time to get rid of it.
I'm pretty sure they sell California Kings in a box too.
They do 100%. I know this because we just bought beds for everybody in the house recently. We thought about going up to one, but we ended up not.
See, so what we didn't tell you, Dell, is this is actually just a intervention about your mattress.
Mattress intervention.
And we're just coming from a place of love. We want you to know that ahead of time.
Yeah.
All right, so the next Unwrapped episode is going to be Dell unboxing a new mattress.
It fucking better be at this point.
Watch as it rises for the next 12 hours, and we're gonna sit here and watch it.
In silence. No one
But
says
see,
a word. 'cause
The
you're gonna
last
lose
one that
your-
the one that I picked up recently, like a couple months ago, turned out really nice. It completely like sprung up from the whole box thing like nicely, and it only took about 2.5 hours. Like fully. I was impressed.
That's how I was taking this conversation as an intervention. Yeah, well, start out with one thing and end up another. So that's typical.
Okay, but I spent my extra $50 this month on comics. So
Always a plus.
see, the thing is like beds are expensive. This is a goal.
I
that
see what you're doing.
But it's
Comics are expensive too.
Right, but see, she knows if she goes with the comics, and I can't really argue with it.
Yes.
Comics have a higher resale value than spent mattress.
Oh yeah.
Well, it depends on whose mattress it was.
Oh, that's
explain
that's
that
true.
shit, but
And what bodily fluids have sleeped in the mattress?
I don't want to take black light near that thing. It's been around. For
Dear
way too
God,
long.
I bet you could
Yikes.
see it from Mars after 21 years.
It's like fucking Christmas Vacation where Clark lights his house up with the Christmas lights. That's what
Yeah.
would be like your bed would.
You turn a black light on near that thing, I bet you it's going to look like that scene in Independence Day where they're all on top of the building and
Yeah.
the aliens show up. And you
Oh my
just see the
God.
bright light and they all
That's how we
disappear.
contact alien life.
Just use
We
your-
just take our
Oh.
mattress and stick it out in the open and
That's it.
shine some blacklight beams on it, and then within 24 hours tops.
Fucking
ships are
Men in
like-
Black.
and I'm
They'll
telling
show
you,
up at your house. Look at the mattress.
all right, so I'm 5'5" and a
Elvis
half,
will come back home.
and I had to flip that thing on my own, and it's sitting on 2 box springs of smaller size, and don't ask. This is how it worked out for me.
Side by side box springs, I hope.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's a
Okay.
California King, so
There,
split box
everyone's
spring makes sense.
in the other room.
I thought you meant stacked on top of each other, and I'm like,
Me
that's
too.
Okay.
That's why I busted out the angry eyes.
No, they're there. But I take it, so I'm like flipping the thing over and flipping it, and oh my God, is that an ordeal? Like just making the thing, I'm like climbing on it. I got to crawl on it, tuck things in. Got some new sheets I got to put on because the other ones are ripped to shit.
So you're putting lipstick on a pig, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point in time, you can flip it, turn it inside out, do the twist with it. It's
Mattress
not gonna change.
was lovingly stitched together
Anyway,
the day I was born.
The whole thing is that it doesn't really provide the cushioning that you're saying is cheating for the exercise, because it's
You think?
the thing with the spring thing is that you use
That
the
segue.
cushion and make sure that you, like, even if I make sure I'm like keeping it from going up and down too fast, so that I've got
Because
that.
her bed will split apart if she goes too
I was
fast.
gonna say, if she sneezes when she's doing an exercise, the spring is gonna rock through and stab her in the back. So
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 many jokes to
comics.
be made about this, and I just don't want to go there.
I cover my name here, but
She
I
doesn't
just
know
got this box.
there's a homeless person still inside that mattress that she hasn't discovered.
She's a colony of them at this point. She doesn't know.
It
Yeah.
got folded in half one time when I was living someplace where they didn't have room for it in the room, but they had a weird wall thing that was just wide enough to have like the mattress doubled up and shoved into it, and I didn't. So there's kind of a bump in the middle.
I'm sure there's a lot of bumps
This
in it.
is not getting better. Like this is, you need to give
All
us
you're doing
fewer
is just-
details.
The
How many
anxiety
homeless
I
guys
feel
you
for
got
the
living
bed.
in that mattress? Jeez.
I've seen American Horror Story. I know it's in your mattress. It's cool, man.
Well, I think that she's been hearing voices at night. In all reality, it's just like 6 hobos that are living in her mattress. Like a small
Yeah.
colony has moved in
And
there.
in her situation, I would believe that. Like, I would totally believe that there's a homeless person living in her mattress.
They got their whole. They got it like a whole microcosm. They got a small city down in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
like-
sure there's better infrastructure
Oh,
than we
yeah.
have here.
And what she thought was a spring, like cutting her leg, was actually a penknife. It was a whole
There was another hobo fighting for space.
turf wars, man.
They probably
All
have
right.
like a whole subway.
That's the California King. That's you can fit some people in there, man.
Bet you didn't think it was going to turn out this way, did you, Dale?
No, I did not.
It was a hard turn.
Some mattress shaming to start your evening.
I was like, I'm so proud of myself for exercising.
I mean,
and
we're proud of you
then-
too. We're just also worried for you.
Oh
There's
God.
Kyle. And did you come to join the intervention?
Welcome. Have a seat. Read your
I'll
letter.
have to log on to pile it on harder. Pile it on deeper.
Well,
At this point, we have to pile on because has no padding underneath her.
this has got to be one of the best podcasts I've ever just listened to and said, you know what? I think I'm just going to stay out of this. Oh, no, because I used to deliver furniture. Del,
Welcome to the team.
let's have a conversation.
You could have brought up anything else. Anything else you could have said that you've had for 21 years. Apparently, you picked the wrong group of people to talk shit about that with because we all worked in furniture. You know, brought it up once. He worked in Lazy Boy. He delivered furniture. I'm a furniture manager of a whole ass department store.
I've worked.
I used to work for
Aaron's.
Aaron's.
My fair share of furniture before.
Moving beds, getting beds places, getting these beds. They would come back in terrible condition. You know what? I don't think I've ever heard of a bed somebody wanted us to just throw into the dumpster that has been had a better life than someone else or a longer life than some people. Your bed has made it through its teenage years.
Your bed can drink.
Oh, my bed made it through.
Your bed can vote.
Your bed could rent a car to go get itself a new bed. It could drive its own delivery truck and just kill itself at the store. That's it. It's cashing it in.
Once when I was moving, I lived on like the second floor, and I was not going to carry it down, so it did the fly and wobble back in the truck. That was fun.
The upside is if you move now, you can probably move your whole ass mattress in like a coffee can. I'm sure it's just going to disintegrate the second you move it.
As soon as it hits
It's
the
gonna be
sun,
like a mattress. Just add water.
It does that final cough and dust just flies into the air and it just pulls a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like the vampires in Buffy, and it just.
You know, I'm having killer sofa moments.
Poor Dale. She's gonna go to unpack. Like, don't sneeze.
You should.
Sneeze.
Because there was a person in the sofa too. You know, there's a person in the sofa, just like there's a person in your mattress. That was my whole point. Yeah, we're gonna make a movie about it.
You know,
by the
what?
way, if you want to donate, hashtag bed for Dell.
Dale, your mattress is its own cryptid,
right?
Your mattress is its own cryptid. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's got its own door now.
It's got to have some sentience to be that old.
You know what? Her mattress is
suddenly this walking mattress.
Listen, there's a real reason why we ditch mattresses after a certain point. They gain sentience after 20 years.
No, they don't. They find Dell and she adopts them for another 20 years.
I
don't know if you guys know me. Dana Marie.
Hello, Dana.
I have no idea who it is. Welcome to the Dell has a bed situation.
Hashtag
it's
bed
not
for
a
Dell.
bad situation. It's just a bed situation.
We're all just wondering if Dell has actually seen her mattress get up and go on a walk by itself or not. If it has,
it's like
when she stays there with her mom, like the apartment runs the show. Like it just runs the
I'm just
house.
worried if it's gained sentience. You know what I mean? Like if it
definitely
can think,
has.
we're all in trouble.
Dell
Her
has
mattress
weird dreams
probably-
because a mattress is getting up and moving around, and she's still asleep on it.
And she wouldn't even know.
Just throws her arm over its shoulder, walks down.
Flying
the
sword of
hallway.
the carpet all over again, but it's the bed just hovering up and down, and don't even have to put a quarter in it or nothing, man. It just does its own thing.
Dell,
Well,
I
it
do
come
have
from
a
a
question,
hotel,
you know.
Raz.
Remember when
Does
you just
your
wanted to
bed
open comics?
have your imprint?
Yeah, it's
Well,
Dell's Wild Ride.
Because if it does, what that bed is doing is it's making a clone of Dell.
That's the bump in the
Oh, it's
middle.
building its
dude.
own Dell.
And that's why she got stabbed. It was trying to take her life.
That was just getting some DNA. That's all. It's going
Yeah,
to start
yeah.
working on its own Dell.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is.
bump in the middle. It's building the new
Oh,
cell
it's going to birth you. It's going to birth a clone of you.
like aliens.
That's all it is.
No.
It's just proper gestion right
And
now.
we'll call her Foamy.
Oh.
You know, back in the 90s, we always said, hey, look, this person's getting a Dell. Your mattress is getting a Dell.
Dude, it's getting a Dell.
Wow.
Yep, that's where we're at, people.
okay.
Suck it up and bask in the glory.
20 minutes into the unboxing podcast, and I have not unboxed shit.
Well, because we're still hoping you're going to unbox a fucking mattress at this point.
I think you've unboxed plenty at this point, Dell.
Jesus Christ, your mattress is unboxing shit in the corner. You don't even know about it. It's got its own podcast.
Yeah,
Second
probably
you leave the room,
does.
it's like, God damn, all right, everybody. It's like 6 other old ass mattresses from the fucking alley get together and host a podcast together.
Dude, you just don't have no idea what my human did last night.
I'm drawing this actively. Like, this is going to be a picture that I come up with at some point. Just like 6 sad looking mattresses, just dilapidated, all with headphones on them.
Okay, and all these writers that we have, who's going to write a Dell mattress book?
I will illustrate that book.
What the mattress does when Dell's not around.
Hands down, I will illustrate a day in the life of Dell's mattress.
I think that'll be one of the stories in the anthology coming up in the fall.
Yeah. We need a mattress themed anthology now.
That's got to be the story you put a sticker on the cover for, like featuring a bonus story. What
You can't
Dell's
rip the
Mattress
tag
does
off
in the
of
day.
it.
You're like Baby's Day Out.
My wife loves that movie. So
It'll be a
you
weirder
got
version
stuff.
when it's Dell's Mattress, but still.
You got stuff
I
to
really hope
unbox,
Dell
huh?
didn't rip the tag off the mattress because then it might become sentient and get revenge on her.
Wait, does your mattress still have the tag?
No, it has a World War II tattoo.
It has a government ration sticker on it.
It's got a tax credit form on the fucking.
But it claims Dell on taxes.
Well, she is independent at this point.
Claims the rest independent.
Okay, and this just.
Oh, my
just to
face is
give
actually
you
I bet
guys-
you wish you lied about that now at this point. You can say it any other time.
I went with my mom. We go to the casinos and stuff, and one of them has a cigarette place on it. I get them for like under half of what I buy a carton for here in town. And as we're going through, I had a bunch of like 20s or whatever, and I was getting 2 cartons for $60 some. And I hand it to my mom, and she hands it to them, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, your 20 stuck together. You gave us $85. She'll be giving you back change." We're like, "Oh, well, thanks for being honest and stuff or whatever." And Mom just looks over and goes, "Thank you so much. She's disabled." And she was trying to meet, and I just looked at Mom and like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, I meant that you're on disability, so you have a lot of income." And I'm like, they automatically thought that, oh, my poor dear doesn't know how to count to 60 on 20s.
Yeah.
She can't do maths like that.
One.
Like,
This is fantastic. So I have a cousin, Mikey has Down syndrome, and growing up our entire lives, we go out places, and he loves to fuck with people. Like, he lives for it. Oh, it's his favorite thing in the world. But like when I first got my license, I went out driving with him. And if somebody drove awful in front of us, we would always pull up next to him, and he would roll the window down and go, "Excuse me, excuse me." They roll the window down and he'd go, "I'm very sorry, but I'm not allowed to have a license. I want to make sure that you weren't like me. Do you know how to drive?"
Oh God.
And nothing in the world is more offensive to a human being. Apparently, they can't get mad at him though. He just go, "I'm very sorry," and then he rolled the window back up and we drive away.
That is epic.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I might die here, guys.
we're just
That's why I only come on every 6 months.
Mattress.
okay. So
Yes, let's unbox your comics before we get back on the mattress again.
Yeah.
we're gonna unbox some comics here, and I got a bunch of like, what do I got here? Oh, I got a bunch of styrofoam shit. So just
Well, you can stuff your mattress with it.
Don't do it. We're trying not to get sidetracked. ADD is a bitch.
okay, yeah.
Look, I can't say it then.
Okay, John, can you give a quick rundown on how, while I'm getting these out, how the Mile High thing? I mean, you don't work for them or anything.
So they
but
got a few different ways they've done it. I know that they did it for a little while. They did it by weight, like because they have so many. Like, so Mile High is like a mecca as far as comics goes. There's a few stores that are like, they're just so notorious in the community that people literally like make pilgrimages to like sell their collection there, as opposed to like the local shops, things like that. And because he's taken in so many collections over the years, he just has this insane surplus of like filler books and not really key issues, nothing that he's selling. So for a long time, he would just sell stuff like by the pound. I literally bought several boxes from him. It was like 25 pounds of Vertigo, 25 pounds of DC. And now he's doing, I think it's like it's just certain size boxes that he's selling. But basically what they'll do is they'll just kind of go in and grab it. As long as it fits into a certain category. So I can't remember which one you got. Was it all down here, you say?
I went with
Image. So yeah, this is probably gonna be like a lot of Spawn stuff. You're gonna see probably a lot of like the 90s launch lineup. Like you're gonna see like the Youngbloods, Wildcats, Spawn,
Violator.
because
Okay.
that's obviously they had no print limits on that. I think the lowest printed book from the launch line of Image was like 100,000 copies.
Oh
So
my
there's
god.
so many of them out there.
So this was this huge discussion that I had with my mom. I was like, okay, so trying to explain to her um why parental warning. You're don't give these to your kids until you look at them first. Um
No.
but no. um Mom was like, I told her how comics are selling out these days, like the
Yeah.
Ultimates, or all, before they even hit the stores, they're selling out. And she's like, well, why don't they just print more? I was like, well, they do, but that's a reprinting, or they
Right.
put a new cover on
Yeah.
or something. She's like, but if they're going to sell 15,000 of them, why do they not just print 15,000 instead of 10,000 and then another 5,000? And I'm like,
Well,
because it's a collectible, so they
Yeah.
have
Big money.
X many that go
yeah,
out, and then
because also they know that we're nerds and we'll pay inordinate amounts of money for a stupid little notch inside a book. But the best way to do it is to just relate it, like, because her generation definitely can still relate to like literature first editions. So if you hand her like a literary first edition of a book and you say, now do you think this is more valuable than this book? And then hand her like the fucking kids like compendium version of it that
Right.
you got at the library that day, which one is more valuable? That's the best way to explain it. It's honestly how I've related it to a lot of people. Like, but they can't reprint this one because it's obviously been notated as this was the first printing of it.
yeah. And she was just like, this is so stupid. And I'm like,
Yes, it is very stupid. We
Well,
don't, we're never going
I
not
didn't
stupid.
try to like be like, oh no, mom, it's and like, yeah, it just
Well, I mean,
because
it
it's
costs money to print the stuff up in the first place. They haven't made that money yet because they haven't sold a comic. So, and they don't know how well it's going to sell and how many
Right.
issues it's going to need. If they could tell that stuff, then yeah, they could probably print as many as they need. But they don't have that, and they only have a limited amount of budget to print so many copies of it. So you get what you get.
I mean, part of that, yes, but at the same time, like you look at like the big two, Marvel and DC, they are so ridiculous that they'll do what are called limited print runs on books, but they'll print so many more than they're saying is in the print run, and then they'll just pulp them and they'll destroy the extras because they want to make sure they have a certain amount that are all up to quality concern. So you figure if they say that's a 2,000 print run, probably roughly 5,000 copies of that book got originally printed. And then out of that 5,000, they found the 2,000 that passed quality control, and then they sent the rest back to this factory that pulps them. Over COVID, it actually kind of bit them in the ass because this company named MJ Holdings, they do repacks of like Pokemon cards and comic books and things like that. One of their buyers found one of the factories that they pulp these comics at, and they bought pallets of comic books that were supposed to be pulped and shredded and destroyed. And they were putting these like 1 in 15,000 ratio variants. They were putting them in $5 comic book 3-packs that were sold at Walmart.
Yeah. Remember
And
those?
so you had like kids that would go and buy like a $3 or $5 3-pack of comics at Walmart that are supposed to be repacked dead stock, and they're pulling $500, $700, $1,000 comic books out of them. And Marvel lost their fucking mind because they had no idea what to do. There's no way they can't take it back at this point. The book clearly exists. It's on the market. It has to hold the same value as the other ones, and there's nothing they could do. The factory had sold a pallet, which is like, I think it's 45 cases of these high-end, very hard to find ratio variants that were supposed to be destroyed because they didn't pass the quote-unquote QC check.
Yep.
To MJ Holdings that just repacked them and sent them out to Walmarts all over the country.
I had a Spider-Man. It was a Spider-Man and Sandman were in the edition. It ended up being. I got it from a Walmart in a pack in the early '90s, and it was worth like $300 and some odd. I about shat myself when I found out.
Oh, dude, you find those old repacks that were in Walmart and stuff. Now there's certain ones that they figured that out. Like they've broken it down to like the barcode numbers. You find the right numbered ones. Like there's a GI Joe one that's floating around out there. It's like $1,500.
Jesus, man. I was excited. And the weird thing is, No, it wasn't Sandman. It was Sleepwalker. Maybe it was Sleepwalker.
Oh
It
yeah.
was Sleepwalker, yeah, because in this like little pack, there was two with Sleepwalker, and then the third one in that same pack was the NFL superstar they made that Spider-Man teamed up with there, unfortunately for a bit.
Single worst promotion in history.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was disgustingly bad.
Okay, so now
Yes.
we're gonna look at what I got.
Yes,
We're
tell me
half
what
an
you
hour
got.
into the show. Okay.
Yes, we will do this.
Mattress.
I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Mattress.
Mattress.
Okay. A special gift for you from Mile High Comics as a thank you for your having ordered one of our bargain boxes. We are including, at no charge to you, one of the special variant editions that we have created exclusively for Mile High Comics clients. Please do enjoy this limited edition Mile High Comics variant with our sincere thanks and gratitude for your kindness and support of our efforts, Chuck. And Chuck is very happily giving me a free comic book day DC superhero girls Mile High
Oh,
variant.
so that's kind of a fun one. Like they did these like kid editions. That one's it's not like an overwhelmingly big value book just because it's Mile High. So Mile High printed I think like 10,000-15,000 copies of it. But it's fun because it's not a mainstream book. It's considered a kids printing, but at the same time it has a adult story, so it goes with the DC main canon, but it just features the kids art. So it's a very like niche book, but you don't see them very often. But it's still probably about a $15 book.
Can you put it back up on the main screen, though?
Oh yeah.
My kids definitely recommend that series, though.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
My kid recommends the cartoon of that.
Okay, so next up we have a Rob Liefeld cover of Riptide #1.
Notice that the feet are drawn like garbage because Rob Liefeld is a garbage person.
When it comes to feet.
Yeah, just in general, he should be charged for treason for what he did to Captain America.
Well, he just did it again with Falcon. So.
Yeah, again, and that's just saying that he clearly learned nothing and sees no repercussions in his future. So again, high crimes. That's actually a part of a series where they did it was kind of like their attempt at taking Michael Turner's Fathom and making one of their own. Rob Liefeld is notorious for not really coming up with an original idea, but trying to take someone else's idea, turn it slightly to the left, and then claim it's his. The same thing with like Fighting American and a couple other ones that he's done, like Major X and things like that. But that was his attempt at kind of cashing in on the overwhelming success of Fathom.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still probably about a $5 book.
All right. This is I can't. God, I'm getting old.
I'm not going to make a mattress joke. I'm not. You can bait me all you want. I'm not going to do it.
They ain't role models, regulators.
No mattress baiting in the chat.
Issue 3.
There you go.
Sorry.
Regulators.
Interesting.
Mount up.
That different regulators. That's part of like the launch line. That's the second wave from the original launch line. That was when they were really trying to build their own worlds. Like Kirby had set out and said he was going to build his fourth world stuff, and they were really trying to build off of that because that was towards like the end of Kirby's, last gas. But it was like a big thing at that time period where everybody wanted to build their own worlds. So they would have like these teams that they never planned on doing anything with, but just kind of like to fill in the world.
So which one is Warren G?
Is
it the one in the gold?
Clearly, it's the fire.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, and here's we just spoke to this gentleman a couple weeks ago. Eric Clarkson's The Savage Dragon issue 6.
Just an absolute classic. Like, so Savage Dragon, it holds a special place in my heart because while it has essentially turned into a porno comic, these days. Back in the day, like it was like one of the first indie comics to get like mainstream attention because it had its own cartoon. He did crossovers with the Ninja Turtles, like
Yeah.
and he was never meant to. He was Savage Dragon was literally Eric Larson not doing his homework and then having to come up with a report the same day he was supposed to turn it in. So he drew this dragon character and it wasn't even Savage Dragon back then, it was just the dragon. And he was like, yeah, no, it's a dragon. It's a guy. He's half dragon, half man. He's a cop. And like just like spin around the top of his head with it. And
basically wolf cop in dragon form.
Yeah, they kind of bit. And at that point he was stuck having to develop it. And now it's just turned into such this off the wall insane story.
Half dragon.
The
Half
dude in the
cop.
middle kind of
Oh,
looks
man.
like Johnny Bravo with a mohawk.
Yeah.
Yahoo! Praying on Brady.
Like Savage Dragon's just kind of like this very wildly inappropriate story now where it's like half cop, half dragon, half porn most of the time. Like there was a whole issue that literally got pulled off of shelves because it was just so wildly inappropriate.
It looks like me if I had a mohawk.
He does.
Exactly.
I love it.
Striking resemblance.
Yeah.
Eric Larson is all about that comic. We were talking, and he's like, "Yeah, love my Savage Dragon."
Yeah, him and Eric Powell are two guys that like their brains operate on another level.
Here is a Jim Lee cover who is going to be at Terrificon this year and is charging $55 in advance for an autograph or $150 to get like.
I mean, the resume, you know, once you get a certain point, once you run a whole company from the big two, you get really the ability to charge whatever you want.
This is Stormwatch
launch
3.
line. That is definitely original launch line right there. Stormwatch.
This one.
Everybody has pouches. I don't understand what they were cargoing, why they had so many pouches, but sweet Jesus, every hero at Image had to cargo something.
Yep.
Because they all had like 1,000 pouches on their costumes. Every one of them.
Yep. That's why I like it so much.
My buddy Kyle is probably the busiest man in comics right now. He's a comic illustrator. He just put out a character just name pouches. He's just a superhero made entirely of the pouches that used to be on the Image superheroes costumes.
Yeah. Honestly, that's my entire love of cargo pants and cargo shorts, cargo sweatpants, everything. It probably stems from comic book characters from Image in the 90s.
Time period, you know. Back then, we had a lot of shit we had to carry with us. We didn't really know when we were going to need to do it. So
does each pouch go into like a pocket dimension, and you just like reach into a different pouch?
Yeah, they're pouches of holding, like D&D, man. Yeah.
You just listen. We just accept that there's cargo. We don't know where you're storing it and what happens inside that pocket.
Right. And if you're a guy that dated any female in the 90s, she wants you to hold like 50 fucking thousand things, and that's what the pouches in your pants are really for.
Yeah. Honestly,
or they have like
these
these
little
purses that are about this big, and then they pull like chicken dinners and semi trucks and bricks.
I had a trench coat that also had like pouches on the inside and everywhere, and I would stash random objects in the coat and in my pants. So I pull out like rubber chicken, like a car hood ornament out of nowhere.
Bro, you top and bottom pouched? That's impressive.
Oh yeah. Dude, and then I took a bong. I found one that was collapsible and that you could take apart in pieces. So I put different pieces in different pockets. I'd just be like, wait a second. I'd pull out the pieces in some little bong. It was great.
You're like Repo Man, the old 90s wrestler. At that
yes.
Yeah,
pretty much.
On you everywhere at all points.
Like Silent Bob meets Repo Man is what I was going for.
It's pretty good shtick.
Yeah, it was fun.
You ever watch Cabin in the Woods?
Of course.
Yes.
That's the bong that Raz needs.
Yeah. I love that bong, dude. That bong's awesome.
Speaking of pouches, we now have a Super Patriot #2.
Another one from Launch Line. There it is. Yep. I actually have a Super Patriot action figure in my room right now. Yeah, Super Patriot's another one, just like super ridiculous. Like he was half bionic and half like it was. I think there was a Deathlock they were like ripping off the story from, but they were like, we'll make him Captain America and Deathlock.
Yep.
But it was another one that got a lot of notoriety. It was part of like one of the first Marvel Legends action lines. They needed to fill them in, so Super Patriot, Savage Dragon, a few of the other Image characters actually got on there.
Very cool.
All right, and well, damn it! Oh, Warren Ellis, that's cool. Finale 1, Fire from Heaven, Sword of Damocles, #2.
Oh yeah, so that is this like weird time period where they were taking like these old literary stories, like these like epic old fantasy stories and stuff, and they were like, no, just put it in space, give it lasers, and that's literally all it is. Like you'd see these Greek tragedies or like these Shakespearean tales, and then they were just like, yeah, give them laser guns.
It's
No,
the comic book
no,
equivalent to a
you need
space
to
opera.
you need to hold that one over your head.
Well, yeah, but
It's the
don't
sword of
don't do it
Damocles.
on your mattress because if that falls off, it's going to cut the whole chunk of your mattress
Sword
off.
of Damocles is hanging over my head.
We're going straight into Rocky Horror. All right.
I'm surprised that I at things right now. Okay. Oh, another issue 1 of Wildstorm Rising Prologue Team 7 Objective Hell.
Ah, yes. So
That was awesome.
at the time that they launched Image, Todd really he went all in. And he was like, listen, we're going to do this. So we need to have, everybody needs to have like a team that they're working on and a character that they're working on and a book. And then it got to Rob Liefeld. And Rob was like, yeah, no, I totally got this. And no, what Rob did was he just took his team that he designed and his character that he designed, and he just made them all bunch up into different groups. He would just pair this guy with this guy and this guy with this guy, and that would be one team. And then the next time they came through and they're like, all right, so what's this new team that you've developed? He was like, all right, so we have this guy and this guy from this team. Yeah, I'm going to put them together on this team, and that's a new team. And this is another big part as to why I fucking hate Rob Liefeld.
Really?
It's on my resume. It's literally, I've been blocked by Rob Liefeld on every form of social media. I wear it like a badge of
Options in
honor.
your mattress.
He literally started his own threads, and it took me less than 24 hours after he launched his threads page to get blocked on there.
Wow.
I have a deep hatred for him. The man's a war criminal. It's like Jar Jar Binks.
So here's another Jim Lee cover for Image Issue 1, Team 1 Stormwatch.
And there's the spinoff.
Yep.
So you got
There's
Storm.
I think that was when they
Watch.
started giving them their own
Bugs.
animated series.
No longer covered in bugs. And he went a little gray.
Yeah.
Which was cool because it did get Jim Lee's Wildcats their own cartoon for a little while. Like they were giving Image like this license to get their own animated series. And unfortunately, the side effect of it was that they canceled the whole line because they didn't want any of the Liefeld nonsense attached to it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, here's another Liefeld cover for issue 10 of Team Youngblood.
Old Diamond Feet. Yeah, man.
Shiny.
I mean, I want like, so science can do it at this point. I just wanted to make one person that actually looks like one of these characters just to see what would happen to the human body if they actually got that big.
Right.
They did. His name is Ronnie Coleman.
I just feel like the human body wouldn't be able to sustain itself very long.
And it didn't. That's what happened to Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
Basically, you just turn into the max at a certain point.
Oh, I can't wait for that movie to come out.
Same. See, I fucking love Max, man.
We got some text action going on here with issue number 2 of Union.
Union. Union's kind of a cool character, actually. It's a very weird story. Like, imagine Nova meets Star Wars, meets Flash Gordon, and that's Union. And none of it really makes sense cohesively, but objectively, it all kind of makes sense. Like, you just read one issue at a time and don't try to tie it to an overall story. It's kind of a good book.
Okay. Trying to see. I'm not great at IDing things if I don't see a name on them, so this is
Oh, let
why
me
this
see
is
it.
why I have you guys on here.
I can
Oh, I
probably
can't.
tell you what it is.
Oh, there's a little name, I just can't. I'm blind. This is Archibald Saves Easter.
Okay.
That Boy, okay, so there was like a weird time period, early 2000s, where like Image didn't know who they were anymore because Launch Line kind of was flopping, but they didn't want to, they weren't ready to go under. They weren't losing that kind of money, but they also didn't have any licenses. So there's a long, like 3-4 year period where Image just put out the most bizarre shit. Dark Horse went through the same thing for a little while. It's just like this weird line of books that no one was really going to read, but everybody was going to read to support Image, and it was just basically getting these guys jobs when the comic bubble burst.
It's the what can we get away with period.
Oh
Right.
my god!
Pretty
What'd you
Baby
get?
Machine sounds like the name of a band.
Shadowhawk.
I fucking got Trencher #2, man.
Fucking Trencher. If you ever watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
Wow.
Love that show.
Trencher is on the same ridiculousness of like Thunder Gun from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like it's just that level of batshit insane.
He has one of his enemies has his special ability is he has a wired jaw and he can do pinpoint projectile vomiting.
Yeah.
So he'll eat all this stuff and like yak on people.
Nice.
And there's like an old granny. But the artwork is so fucking hard.
The brother of the
to
spleen.
look through. What?
It's
It
a
was
mystery
very
man.
90s zine, like so Cool World, like that kind of artwork where it was like very out there, everything was very fluid, and like there was no real rhyme or reason behind it. It was all considered like freestyle artwork. It's a very cool time period where like a lot of characters were saved from the e-zines, like the fanzines and the underground comics and brought into the fold. They were always that kind of artwork.
Okay. Now we have from Top Cow, issue 1 of The Darkness.
Oh, you got a Darkness 1?
Dude, Darkness
Oh,
is
okay.
fucking
Oh, no.
awesome.
Okay. So Darkness is a fantastic story. Darkness is a spinoff from Witchblade.
Mhm.
And it is the quintessential anti-hero story. Like a mob hitman gets gifted these powers from an abyss that are essentially pure evil, and he has the ability to become pure evil with it. But he tries to advocate for both sides. And yeah, if you've read any Witchblade, Darkness is absolutely fantastic. I had a whole run of Darkness for a little while. It was very, very good. And I think it's had like 15, 20 spinoffs at this point. But yeah, very, very good.
Darkness is definitely in my top 10 of heroes.
Absolutely.
And the games were also fucking phenomenal. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
them.
the
They're rolling
games were
those
good.
out. Oh, they're beautiful.
Let's see. Here's
Is that the
more
same
comics.
Witchblade they like made a movie or a TV series out of?
Kind of. I mean, it wasn't really true to source material, but yeah, that's what they were basing it on.
Okay.
Here is Blood Legacy, The Young Ones.
Aha, yeah. So Top Cow was like that when they set up Top Cow, it was because they didn't want to be too adult on Image because they still wanted to have like a kid-friendly appearance. And they hired a lot of artists in who had a certain knack for drawing women a certain way.
Like the original Buffy comics.
All of them. It's just boobs. Like every one of these guys was like, yeah, no. Like, so what she weighed like 93 pounds. So she had like triple Z boobs, right? Like that's how we're gonna draw that. And Image didn't want to put that on everything, so they had Top Cow. Basically, for a long time, Top Cow was just like the filth or the too adult version of Image.
Which is crazy when you consider the scene in the Violator series where he rams his head to the back of the cop's mouth and makes his face a puppet. Like, but that wasn't too adult at
Here in
all.
America, you can have gratuitous violence, but you better not show a nipple.
Exactly.
Right.
Unless you're Batman. Oh, wait, no.
Well, Batman hung brain during COVID,
Unless you're
and that
Clooney.
turned into a nightmare. Like, it was the first appearance of Bat Dick was like $100 book for a long time.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Dear
Bat Dick.
God. Saw
Bat
more
and condoms,
still
man.
shots in that one frame from that book.
See, that's what Batman's got in his pouches, condoms.
Yep.
I mean, you need them. If you're banging Catwoman, are you kidding me? I never put on pants.
It also gives his dick sonar capabilities. It's a whole thing.
Okay, so we have Noble causes, distant relatives.
Oh yeah. So that is Frank
Ferber?
Jesus, why can't I remember his last name? Cho. So it's a part of like the Liberty Meadows and all these other stories that were like they weren't comic book stories. They were just stories that happened to get created in comic book form.
Okay.
That sweater pattern, though.
There was a pattern on that sweater?
There was, yeah. Yeah, there's a pattern on that sweater.
No
Back
idea.
Go
to
Web Go.
back to Top Cow Booby Girls. Evo Endgame.
Notice the E and the O just look like two giant boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's by design.
What? There's lettering on that comic book?
No, you gotta look
Letters?
north, bud. You gotta look a little north to the left and right.
There's just 2 extra holes. That's all.
That's all it is.
Oh my god.
Staring me in the face. I can't look away.
If one winks at you, you gotta watch out. That's its superpower.
Yeah. That's when you need to put the
I dated a
book
girl
down
like
and
that.
step
She
away.
looked right.
Nipple winking. That's a thing.
These were all unbagged. So I'm glad I got
Yeah,
them
that's the
bagged.
thing about Mile High. So there's 2 different people that build them. If it's his wife builds them, they're going to be done flawlessly. They're going to be done completely at random, and everything's going to have a back and board. If he's doing it, he's literally doing it grab bag style. He's going to go in, he's going to grab them, put them on the scale, and he's going to put them in a box.
Well,
But
luckily,
I prepared a bunch of bags, so
yeah, she went and got a bunch of boards and bags right before the show.
That's
Got them
very
all ready.
smart. Also, just be careful if you get like sensitive to dust or things like that, or anything like warehouse stuff. Just be careful because like a lot of these are going to come out. There's going to be like dust on them and things like that. She's not really making sure to treat them before they get sent out.
She sleeps on a 26-year-old mattress. I'm sure she can handle it.
She saves the dust in a
Her
pouch.
life
That way
is
she
dust.
stuff in the mattress when she's done.
She's probably
sure.
immune to everything.
That's very true. The mites don't even bite her anymore at this point. They're just like, nah, let her have today.
Yeah.
okay. This is
Call her the dust bringer.
6
The
cover
dust bringer.
Her own comic.
of Athena Inc., the Manhunter Project.
The dust bringer and mattress. Boy.
So that is inspired by what is Ultraviolet.
Okay.
There's a like a weird subset of comic. I mean, if you like I think Ultraviolet's a fantastic story. The artwork was always a little bit lacking for me, but if you like that kind of story, sort of sci-fi, very out there, those are always the books that you're going to want to look for.
Some Ultraviolet, Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux is another one. Yep.
Yeah.
Everything that was ever animated on MTV's Liquid Television.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
This looks like a cross between Conan and the Max.
Ooh, I'm already interested.
You mean an
Prophet.
epic crossover?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Prophet.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be playing Prophet in his very own movie.
Image's got
Now, I
an
want you to look at
lineup
Prophet
coming
on
out,
cover,
man.
and I want you to tell me how in the fuck Jake Gyllenhaal is going to play that guy.
I mean,
Idea.
they wanted me to model for that picture, but I was busy that day having lunch with the president.
No, it's okay. They got a hold of me. I filled in for you. Do you not see? Like that's clearly my arm.
Well, I don't know. Your camera's kind of blurry, so
That's by design. I don't want you to see my face. It'll blind you. It's just pure beauty.
like looking upon an angel. You can't see them clearly.
That's all it is. It's like the
It's more like
Metatron.
looking on Cthulhu will drive you insane. That's what happens when you see John clearly.
Oh,
Very
God.
much like the ending of Raiders. That's all
Yes.
that's going to happen.
Yeah, face melt.
Okay,
Poor
so
Dell.
I'm just sitting here.
Poor Dell's
It's just
mad.
like I'm just trying to get through my comics.
So back
Have
to
these
Top
happy
Gun
assholes.
again. No naked women on this one.
Oh.
Oh,
We have J. Michael Straczynski's Rising Stars.
So this is
Horror-ish.
it's a fun series. Actually, that was basically they gave this team of like up and coming artists this, and they literally named it Rising Stars as like a nod to the fact these were all young artists that were going to take over and do it. It never really ended up going anywhere, but I mean the stories are always good. It's almost like anthology where each issue is going to be pretty self-contained.
Very cool.
They went somewhere. They went right to Dell.
They did go to Dell. They went to dollar bins everywhere.
back to half naked women. We have. Oh my, I'm so old. I need to get new glasses. 10th Muse Rena Miro.
Oh yeah. So,
Whoa.
yep.
I remember that
Hello.
cover.
Hey, how you doing? All right.
So, do you know who that is?
No.
Not
So
Mike.
she was actually a professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
She married the apex predator of the male species, Brock Lesnar. They just got a divorce, but her name was Sable in the WWF.
Yep.
And boobs.
I had that signed by her at one point in time.
And boobs.
And
Oh,
boobs.
just the boobs.
Oh yeah,
I think that
Well,
was the
also-
sexual awakening of most males in the early 90s.
100%, because they used to do the bra and panties matches, and she took it a step further and got
Hand
basically
paint. Is it-
pasties that were just her hands over her boobs. And then she did the storyline with Mark Marrow where he was abusing her, and that was like a big thing. And
now they're doing a real life storyline where she's taking all of Brock Lesnar's money because he cheated on her.
yep. And now being disavowed from WWE.
Oh, well, you can't pretend like he doesn't exist. He's the size of a freight truck.
Oh, I can. I mean, honestly, we pretend he didn't exist when every time he has a belt, because he disappears for like 6 months at a time.
Listen, I met the man. I shook his hand. It was like a baseball mitt with 5 bananas hanging off it. He's the most intimidating human being I've ever met in my life, and he was very nice, but fucking horrifying. You cannot pretend like that guy doesn't exist, because if he walks into a room, he is the room now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The room has
held to the room.
to hold him.
He's not even allowed to wear yellow and walk down the street. Kids jump on his back and think they're going to school. He's fucking annoying.
But then they find out it's short bus, so it's they was
5X
the
glove.
windows.
Fucking insane.
You know,
I feel like
be
we
right back.
need to just do a podcast like this.
before they got Alan Richardson, I thought that Brock Lesnar would be a good choice to play Jack Reacher.
I mean, yeah, I think he's too bulky, man. Reacher's like supposed to be like a
Slim down
badass,
little bit.
but
He's
like,
like 280 pounds. If he had slimmed down to like 250,
I mean,
think he would be fine.
I don't know. Brock just looks like if steroids stood upright and walked around, that's what he looks like in person. Like his neck muscles have neck muscles, and then those have a bicep. Like that's what the problem was. Like you can't put him in any kind of like normal thing. He could play any character from the launch line of Image Comics, actually. Any one of them. Just slap some pouches on his tits, and he's good to go.
Yeah.
No workout necessary.
Katie McPouch.
Oh, all these guys are too skinny. Brandon Peterson's Arcanum. These are all.
Oh yeah,
little
Brock would have
matches.
grabbed that one by the ankles and used him to wipe his ass because he can't reach his own butt.
It's just Jared Leto in 12 different costumes. It's okay.
That's Well, honestly, he likes a lot of costume changes.
Yeah, I saw him in concert at 30 Seconds to Mars. So
Did you see him, or did you just see him walking a bunch of 13-year-old girls backstage going, "Now, don't tell your mother"?
In a bathrobe.
oh god, no, it was at University of South Florida. They did 30 Seconds to Mars, and Bo Burnham actually opened up for him.
That's a weird combination of human
That is
beings.
weird.
Tell me about it. But it was actually a really good show, and I have to say I quite enjoyed it. And Jared Leto not looking like Morbius
Yeah,
was actually a pretty decent looking guy and had his shirt off for most of the show. And
I mean,
Of course.
basically, his whole shtick is that he looks like Jesus when he's
Right.
doing the 30 Seconds to Mars thing.
so
He
like
wears the
Bo
bathrobe
Burnham
and-
traveling with 30 Seconds to Mars. Is that like the mental illness world tour, or
No, it's the college campus tour.
Like we're not allowed within 30 yards of a school campus, but we can do it if we are on tour there. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So back
Alright,
in
so
comics.
next.
Right.
Win your share of $25,000. Details inside. I'm assuming that's out of date now, but we have Universe.
that's a part of that Rising Stars world building.
Okay. There we go.
So at
That
this
just-
point in time, like Vertigo was in direct competition with Image's like Top Cow label. And that was their way. They were going to try and build a world that DC couldn't possibly build. And that was going to be their way to beat DC's and Vertigo's line was continuity. It didn't really
They were
work
like,
out that well
Gaiman.
because Sandman, but
Yeah.
That
the
comic.
second they put that in Gaiman's hands, Gaiman was like, "I'm sorry, did you say you wanted to keep in business? No, very sorry."
Those two characters on that just scream Deadpool needs to rip into them and have a great time with them.
Oh yeah, Deadpool would mock this one. Oh yeah, the pale one. Yeah, he's talking shit about the one not seeing the sun.
I'm pretty sure that like you would find her in the La Sombra book for Vampire the Masquerade.
Next we have Image introduces Legend of Isis.
Yep, that's another one of those like Sword of Damocles. Give them lasers, put them in the future.
It's not the ISIS like the Shazam ISIS and all that.
No, so it's basically like the what's it called? Public domain version.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and now Image introduces Primate. We have gorillas.
Yay!
In space.
There's a weird time period, man, where gorillas ruled everything. Like everybody had monkeys. It was fantastic. DC had like Detective Chimp and Gorilla Grodd. Like they had their own gorilla lineup. Marvel had the Gorilla Avengers.
Somebody's
Fantastic
taking
time.
up on you there, though.
Yeah,
You
Joe
gotta
St.
talk her.
Pierre. Yeah, I do. Joe St. Pierre is really a huge fan of gorillas and monkeys in comics. We found this out.
Great babe.
Great babe.
The Grapist.
Oh, these are all Image introduces. I got a bunch of these coming up. So
Yeah, you're gonna see this. So that's usually that's the MO is you usually get those in clusters because like they bought it in a collection and that's how they were stored in that collection. So you'll usually see those come in like a handful.
Image introduces the Believer.
Yeah, you lied a lot. No one to believe.
I believe they could have used a better cover for that.
His name was Ripley.
Probably.
His name is Ripley.
It took you guys a little while to catch up with that one, but you know what? That's fine.
You're like, it's okay.
Believe it or not, his name was
It's
Ripley.
a little dated. It's a little dated. It's okay.
This one's a little buggered up. Image introduces Cryptopia.
Yes.
Well, that's a thing that exists.
That one's a cross between boobs and obscure stories that are public domain.
Nice.
Obscure
both
boobs,
worlds.
yay.
Let's see.
I'm kind of surprised at the quality of the art. Like it.
Well, keep in mind that wasn't everybody. Like, so Image was started by a group of fantastic artists, but not everybody that worked there was fantastic artists. Like there was a lot of guys that were like subcontracted to do these smaller books that were there to just keep the titles maintained so Image could keep going.
So was there only 4 that was fantastic?
Kind of.
The rest were incredible or amazing or spectacular.
They were adjectiveless.
Or that word. I
favorite.
made up a new adjective like a while back, and I'm like for Spider-Man. I don't remember what it was now.
I
I'll
love
go back
that
and watch the 24-hour.
when I first heard him say that, I was just like, oh my god, that's perfect. I was working on adjectiveless. Oh, okay.
Peter Porter, Spectacular Spider-Ham.
Welcome to the new magic with one of the disciples.
Yes.
Disciples.
That screams 1997. Somebody listened to Cherry Poppin' Daddies too many times and then drew that cover.
Pretty much.
Remember when swing music came back for 3 weeks because we all forgot that it wasn't 1950 for some reason?
Yep, and scrolling that zippers.
Holy shit, that was the weirdest fucking time.
Yeah, it was, dude. But it worked out for the movie Monkey Bone really well.
It did, but sweet Christ, if I hear the song Zoot Suit Ryan again, my fucking brain is going to reset.
What about Grapefruit Diet?
Poop Shoots Ryan.
Aria, the soul market. I don't think it looks like she's selling her soul here.
She's selling something.
She's selling something. Okay,
I'll give her
but
mine.
it is not her soul. You got to look a little more towards the surface.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fetch her your soul.
It sounds like soul. It's you're very close. She's selling her whole.
The whole market. Yeah.
Yeah, her.
Not to be confused with Whole Foods.
You
market.
just
I'm sorry.
in the wrong
Did you
place
say
at
she
the
was
end.
She was
looked
trying
like
to
she found
snatch
all the
something.
holes.
Okay, this one I am kind of excited about just because it's a creep show.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So they own that license for like 2 weeks, but they put out like 7 issues.
Yep.
Nice.
They took
Well, then I
advantage
have
of
one
it.
of the Christmas ones.
You want to talk
So-
about somebody who dropped the ball? That right there is the like epitome of Dark Horse dropping the ball and fumbling the bag. They dropped that license, like they just completely weren't paying attention. They didn't renew the license on it, and Image picked that license up at auction for like pennies on the dollar. They produced like 7 issues because they knew Dark Horse had the rights to buy it back contractually, and they knew they were not going to be able to keep it. So they just printed up a ton of issues, and then by the time it got bought out, they still had the rights to publish the issues.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Is it? Let's look inside.
Probably made their money back and then some.
Oh
So
yeah,
would
that
it-
like
would
a
it
guy
make
who
those-
waited for DallasCowboys.com to lapse, and he
Yeah.
sold the .com and sold it back to Jerry Jones for like $2.5 million after
South
trying
Park,
to
did,
put porn on the website.
South Park did it with the Redskins.
So
Genius.
knowing that information, would it make that creep show comic more valuable because they
Um,
only produced like
Yes,
7?
it would had they not been Image at the time and done the Image thing where they printed 100,000 copies of it. In that situation, had they done like a regular printing of like maybe 15, 20,000 copies of the book, that book probably would be like a $60, $70 book. But because there's just so many copies of them floating around out there, it kind of kills it.
This one is Leave It to Chance.
Whose chance?
You don't have to leave it to chance. I can tell you that book went nowhere. They
But-
tried to take a chance and it flopped.
Chance is
So
actually
for
the
$2 on the.
son
Yeah.
of
So
he's
there's
the
like
son
a
of Charles
so
in Charge, man.
that's actually the Pitt's fault because Pitt proved that you could have like a weird fantasy story where like a little kid has an imaginary friend that's also a fucking demon sent from hell, and they want to do a bunch of stories like that, and you're not going to recreate that magic over and over again.
Was that Bender in a scarecrow outfit?
I'm telling you, that's the kid of Charles in Charge. It looks just like.
It's actually just an issue from the Little Rascals. Like it's just 3 little kids on top of each other, pretending
and
to
I
be an
wanna-
adult.
I want to get into Fabio Laguna's head here on this Law and Order cover.
Lava Laguna.
I don't
Oh,
see
yeah.
this guy's upside down.
There was a
hat.
lot of puns back then. Like I guarantee you that one's named Law and that one's named Order.
Yeah.
Is that
Probably.
Mark Hilgenberger?
But what's with the upside down guy? Just kind of.
Oh, like there's no rhyme or
his
reason.
gun belt,
He's-
or
I mean,
the
for the
gavel.
long and short of it, the explanation is drugs. These are guys that used to sit around. They're like, "How do we want to do the cover today?" And someone just pour Coke on the table and be like, "We're going to snort this until we can fucking draw something," and that's what you got.
oh. I'm
Shadowhawk.
Okay. Moment of we. Shadowhawk with Savage
See,
Dragon.
I knew it was going to be that book. It's always that fucking book. The crossover issue with Shadowhawk and Savage Dragon is like it's the quintessential. You need to have it in your collection if you are older than the age of 20. I probably have 3 of them on my bookshelf right now. I don't know why everybody has that one. There's no explanation for it. It wasn't printed more than any of the other ones, but every collection I've ever bought has that book in it.
My old collection had been stolen where I had all my Shadowhawk, so
I
slowly
have a
rebuilding
ton.
that.
I will just send them to you. It's not like I have a big request line for them. You're the only person I've ever heard that said I had a Shadowhawk collection, so I will send it to you.
I didn't have like a full Shadowhawk collection.
Well, you can have one. I have a whole. No one's requesting them but you. You can enjoy them.
Okay,
You can take Metallic Wolverine right to the bank.
he's like, I'm just gonna cripple everyone. I'm gonna break their spine, and
Yeah, I mean he's very aggressive. He had a lot of issues. He needed therapy.
oh, this guy's head
Now-
is in the right place. Who drew this?
Did he have the issues as in comic issues or just issues
Oh, yeah,
as in
Shadowhawk went
mental?
through like an inordinate amount of issues. Like it had 3 or 4 volumes before any of the other titles on Image.
Okay.
But he also, for some reason, he was kind of like, because he was the only character you never really saw his face until someone like did the helmet reveal. He was also like the first character that Image had that like multiple people wore the mantle. It was a very strange, but it was always like super ultra violent.
Yeah, that's what I liked about him. Like he didn't quite. He's like, "Ah, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm just gonna permanently
Right. I'm not
destroy
going to
their
kill him.
lives by
I have a rule
snipping their
against killing, but I
spines."
swear to God, I don't have a rule against breaking his leg in 14 places. Like,
And
Gonna
that's how you
leave
keep
this
crime off the street,
guy
you know.
College Humor did a
paralyzed
really
on
good bit
top
on
of a
that about like
skyscraper.
Batman not killing
So
and how he doesn't know that's murder and how he just kills everybody and thinks he's puts them to sleep. Shadowhawk's very similar to that.
Nightmare.
Ah, yes. 2 issues. That's all I got, which is very surprising because it was like on par with all the other
This
launch
is the
line
second.
titles.
I like Nightmare.
It's a cool book. It's a cool looking book. There's no real good story behind it. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't read that. This is terrible font. Um,
that's him.
Magic the Cat.
Yep, Mike Grell.
Maggie the cat.
Maggie the
Yeah,
cat.
Grell's a fucking weirdo, dude. That like
Maggie.
everything they ever gave him, he tried to turn into like these weird out there fucking stories. Like they gave him Green Arrow. Green Arrow somehow had mystical powers like 15 issues into Grell's run with it. They were like, no, he's fucking Batman with a bow and arrow. Stop doing this. And everything you give him, he will turn into this weird out there mystic shaman story.
Okay, the one that we've all been waiting on for some
Yeah.
issue of it to show up.
Spawn.
Issue 11.
Yes.
There we go.
So, classic. Good stable job. So Spawn and Savage Dragon are like the reason why Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane are not friends. Because they were both on Image and they both are creator-owned run titles where like the creator is in charge of everything. But Todd likes to brag that Spawn is the longest running creator-owned, creator-written, blah 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 story. But Eric did a bunch of the covers for Spawn, and Todd let him do that. Eric has never let anybody else do the covers for Savage Dragon. Eric always did the fucking covers for them. And Todd just literally just walked over and was like, no, Spawn's the longest running. He's like, no, it's the longest running creator book. You're right. But I did the artwork for like 60 of those issues. So you don't get to claim that you did that. That's why they don't talk anymore.
And speaking of somebody else doing it,
Capullo. Ooh, those are so
that
good.
Capullo cover is sexy.
I fucking love the Capullo Spawn covers. They're always simplistic, great use of space, and they're always dark. Like it's very twisted shit that Capullo put on those covers.
It reminds you of like the classic paintings of death.
Yeah, like a lot of them, very much those like old horror paintings that had no real backstory to them. But you're like, why do you have a painting of a man in a noose just swinging from a tree on your wall? Nobody knows, but it's just there. It exists.
Right.
Capullo did a lot of that kind of artwork with Spawn.
And the last item, only 50 cents, issue number 0, the origin issue of like 5 pages worth of Invincible.
Oh wow.
So you should read that book. It's a very much like a reprint down the road retcon for his origin, but I love Invincible. I think it's probably one of the coolest takes on the classic 90s superhero story.
I have so many people telling me to read Invincible right now. It's one of my
I
friends'
think you'll
favorite
really
books.
like it 'cause it's
and
very much bubblegum pop, but then it just takes a dark, hard left turn every issue.
I was hoping to see a Violator, not gonna lie.
You got the Spawn.
I got 2 Spawn.
I got happy with the Spawn.
Actually, that Capullo cover is probably a $15 book, to be 100% honest with you. Those Capullo covers are highly, highly sought after. So I would say that's probably your big hit in that box out of all of them is that Capullo Spawn. But
Y'all know I love Spawn. I'm a big Spawn guy for sure. But I remember when Violator was coming out, they're like, "Why the fuck is Violator getting his own book?" And I just happened to be at the comic book shop the day the first issue of Violator came out, and I was like, I bought like literally like 5 copies of it, like one for me and like some for my friends. Like, we're gonna sit down, and we're gonna fucking read Violator today.
I mean, Spawn. So Spawn had a lot of characters that got like spinoffs. You had Chapel. You had Violator. Then you had like all of the different versions of Spawn. Now there's like 42 versions of Spawn that have their own books.
I was a big fan of Medieval Spawn for a while.
Yeah, there's medieval Spawn, there's fucking cursed Spawn,
Cursed
gunslinger
Spawn.
Spawn, ninja Spawn. I'm like, Todd, I get it. You just don't know how to draw faces, so every character you want to draw just gets a Spawn mask. Like, we get it. Just say that, and we can all move on.
That's awesome.
I'm pumped for finally actually getting to see a new Spawn movie, though. I really am, man. Like,
I will be if Jamie Foxx doesn't cool guy it up too much.
I hope he doesn't. I think he'll do all right, though. I mean, they seem pretty dedicated to each other in this process, which is it's actually strange for an actor, especially of his level, to stay committed this long with all the failures and all the changes, and then the strikes, and like he's just kept his schedule. Like no matter when it happens, I'm there, and it's doing it.
I think it's because this is a character that he knows is so well known, well loved by fans that like if you drop the ball and you let this go because you weren't patient, you're going to kick yourself in the ass every day. Because now is the right time for these kind of movies to get made and so on and so forth. Like poor Michael Jai White was a fantastic Allison, but he was just not good for Spawn.
I agree with you, and I still like the Spawn movie. I watch it. The best thing to come out of that, it's probably in my opinion. Yeah, John Leguizamo as Violator the Clown was amazing, but it's probably got one of the best soundtracks of just about any movie I can think of all time.
It does have a good soundtrack. I think I'm just a big like John Leguizamo fanboy, so like everything. I'm a big fan of his man. But him just talking shit throughout that entire movie, they just told him like, yeah, none of that was written. He just fucking went nuts.
Oh yeah, and the other side of it though is if they fuck up this movie with how long we've been waiting for it, they'll never make another one again.
Well, the good news is Todd is now hands-on with this one. Todd had absolutely nothing to do with the actual first Spawn. Oh, yeah. Now Todd's like, well, you fucked it up the last time I gave you the rights to it, so we're going to make sure that you don't do that again.
And he's been on Jason Blum a lot for Blumhouse because Blumhouse keeps dropping it back in the production schedule. And finally, I saw earlier this year, he's like, you know what, this movie's getting made with or without Blumhouse, so we're just doing it. And then like within a week, Jason Blum like did this big conference. He's like, yeah, that's my bad. It's back on the slate. Here it is. It's happening. That's my fault.
Yeah.
So, overall, how would you rate the book? Not the book, the box.
How much was that box?
It was $50.
I'd say if it were me, I would say that you probably lost money on it, just from an objective standpoint. And I would say that it wasn't a great investment. But if you are somebody like you who is not looking to like get massive money and like start a collection out of this, who literally just reads and reads and reads and just takes in content, I'd say that, that it's not bad. I would expect more out of $50 though. I would say that you realistically should be looking for either more valuable books or more books in quantity for your money. I would wait if I were you until he does those weighted boxes again, because that's really where you get your money. You spend like $25 to $50 and they'll give you like 25 pounds of comics. Okay. And that I think is probably best, because if you're not going to get valuable comics out of it, you want to get quantity.
You've spoiled those of us here at the network.
Yeah, you really have, man. You really have.
So that's the whole reason I started doing them, is because I saw guys like this that would just put these like junk boxes together, and I said I can do that. I can just do that better. And so like my boxes, I make sure to strive for very different things. But like these guys, like that's not. He knows better. Like kind of this is not anything against you. This is more of a shame on him, because he builds these boxes. He knows exactly what he did, and that's a cash grab, which I don't, you get what you get, but I would, if I were you, I would expect more.
Yeah.
Just because if you're going to give somebody $50, even though it's not like you gave him your life savings, it's still, you're paying for something. You want to at least get your money's worth out of it. And while, you got a couple cool books in there, I don't think that you got $50 out of that.
Yeah, I mentioned I went here's a spending of like $35 that I did today as well. This I didn't get to show you these yet. This was my pull list today. I only had 5, but
very nice.
I got that one, and then this I got the first 3 of Joker Year 1 from the Batman run right now. And
I've heard nothing but good things about
Daredevil Black Armor.
Nice.
So hopefully, like this is me hoping. There's been nothing announced. I don't have any inside information, so this might not be a thing at all. He was mentioned as having done Daredevil Black Armor because we'd had Dan Chichester on before, both here and over at Splash Pages.
Yeah.
But Daredevil is the theme for Triple this year, so I'm hoping that they'll bring him back. I don't know if they are or not. It's not. He hasn't been mentioned yet. So, and
Right.
he was there last year, and Mitch doesn't like to double up too much.
Right.
But it would be cool to get a chance to see Dan again and get them signed.
I mean, I'd say there's a good chance just because where Marvel just basically retconned all of the Netflix stuff into their canon for their cinematic world. I'd
And the
say
announcement-
that they're going to lean heavily on like that Defenders, that street level hero stuff. You're probably going to see pretty heavily leaned on it at all these conventions.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say, I mean, where Daredevil's going to be a theme, and so it's not out of the possibility of it happening.
And they also just announced that instead of like killing it and redoing it, that people like the stories too much and have been complaining too much. So now it's just going to be a continuation of the Netflix stuff,
Right?
Which I'm excited about.
And
which I mean, they can do because multiverse.
hey, to everybody who's watching, we have got going until the 29th, so another 4 days at midnight on the 29th. We have a lottery going on, and we were just talking about the awesome boxes that John does. Watch 1 or 2 of our Unwrapped with his boxes on them.
Especially the mega one. That was
Amazing.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what you get, and that's one of the prizes that you can get if you join the lottery. It doesn't cost you anything. If you go to any of our pages, there should be links on there. Go to the main Owlite Facebook page, and there's a link there. It's a King Sumo thing, and what that is that you hop over, you type in your name. We ask you don't have to put your full name, just put something so that we don't identify you by your email on air. Is basically what we're hoping to not do here.
Right.
We have 5 prizes going up. One of them is a $50 box from John, which you will get so much stuff in, and original artwork and all this other great stuff.
Such as,
yeah.
I have to have some of it handy right now. We got.
Oh, I removed it.
killed me.
Wrong way.
Whoops.
There we go.
That's a good one. And then my personal favorite one, which was a birthday present this year.
Ah, yes. Sasquatch in the woods, roasting marshmallows.
Yep.
Your green screen's kind of distorting that a little bit,
Yeah,
Raz.
I
It's
know.
hard to
I
see.
know. I'll get an actual photo up. I got a photo
Not
up.
to
of
get
it.
too cheap of a plug-in, but right now I have a box that's going like a retail box, where every box that you get is you're guaranteed to get one of the sketch covers that I do.
Nice.
So like some of the ones that I just finished up recently is
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get you up.
Juggernaut. Here, actually, let me do this.
You got
How
the
do I
blurry
turn
camera
my
going
camera
on.
around?
So.
Turn camera around.
Wrong
There you
lever.
Camera off.
Wrong button, Kronk. Why do we even have that?
Lever.
So I got
There you
like this little Juggernaut action that I got there, and then in the back of it is X-Force Deadpool,
Nice.
Ooh.
and then I got like I did this Wolverine versus Freddy Krueger,
I love that one, man.
Yeah.
and on the back of it is Wolverine versus Michael Myers. Like I did this Rorschach and Dr. Manhattan that glows very brightly.
Oh,
I'm
that's
reading Watchmen right now. Again.
I did this Joker 80th anniversary cover. That's the front, and then the back.
oh wow.
Wow.
And
That's a good
every
one.
box that you get is guaranteed to get one of these at random. This Superior Octopus / Hydra Captain America,
Ooh.
little Cobra Commander,
Hmm.
and then Destro.
Ooh, I liked him.
This is by far my favorite one that I've done so far. So they came out with a Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. I had absolutely no idea what the hell I was going to do with this book, so I just did Batman, Kong, and Super Godzilla.
Oh my god.
I love that one so much.
That's awesome.
You just ruined Godzilla by adding Superman.
Okay.
Oh man.
I need set that
I didn't
one
know what
aside
else to
for
do
me.
with it. Like,
Set that one aside
How
for
do I
me.
do that? I can't have this thing flying around.
Dell's already snatching it up before anybody else gets a chance. He's like,
I'm
"Set
reading
aside for
that.
me."
And I know exactly who needs to own that book. So
Me,
My son.
okay, everybody.
everybody in the chat.
But yeah, guys. So if you go, that's some of the artwork that he includes. He includes tons of comics, and it's never like oh, here's your one big one, and everything else is shit. It's here's your one big one, and then here's a first appearance of this person.
Yeah,
and,
every
here's
book
a
I
short run
pick
here,
that
here's
goes in
a
those boxes, I don't grab anything at random. Everything gets picked and chosen to be in there for a reason. And then you get a little breakdown telling you why each book is in there.
and you get to fill out a little survey so that he knows what kind of stuff to send your way. So the way you do the King Samba thing, like I said, you can just go click on it. You'll put in your name and your email address. You can even just put down just like what you'd like to be known as. You have to put your real first name. We don't want to invade anyone's privacy, just so that we know it's you when we announce it, or that you know it's you when we announce it. And from there on, you get entries for clicking on the links. Some of them just go to show pages. Some of them, hey, can you please like this Facebook page? And it's all our stuff or things for the Dorkening or people's author pages that we've had on the shows, or our author pages if you like us. And just friends of the show that you've seen around. That's all we're asking for people to do. And you get a chance to win books by everybody here on the top row. Something from Boss Kong down there. And also we have one of the other prizes is a bunch of autographed Rob Smales books as well. So please go check it out, because we really want to give people things. And it's been bizarrely difficult, even though we're advertising it constantly, to get people to just click on a couple links.
Yeah.
The national
It's
attention
now-
span is all of like 2.5 seconds. So like getting somebody to take 4 seconds, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have one person who has like 60 some entries.
Oh wow.
You know how you
That's
get people
cool.
to do it?
It's Pile.
This is how you do it. Boobs.
Yeah.
Boobs. Boobs is how you get people. So I did this Harley,
Harley.
and then on the
I
back of
love
it's
that though.
so I did like E-Girl Harley and then E-Girl Ivy.
Nice.
Gorgeous. And the link is in the comments, so you can find it. Well, my comments are on that side.
Go sign up for it. I want to give people stuff too.
Yes, do it. We want it. And you get to pick your prize if you win, like which one you're going to do in order of who wins first and stuff. So if you're a book person, you can go for books. If you're a comic person, you get to go for the comics.
Oh,
And
yeah.
If you like irritating puzzles, also get my box, because opening the box is an irritating puzzle.
Wonderful.
he gets free tape, everyone.
Free tape. I don't pay for
This
tape.
is an issue.
My favorite claim to fame. I don't pay for tape. I have a tape sponsorship.
Oh, do you have one of your boxes near you just to show how wrapped they are?
I don't have them at the moment. I have them all in the closet. I can't go dig them out at the moment. But
Okay.
I will 100% send you pictures of me building a box. That way you can actually put it and show people the process of how many boxes you have to open. It's because my boxes are fucking awesome. So you have to earn the right to get to them. That's all it is.
I still have like
Oh yeah, I had tons of that too.
Oh yeah, the packing. So you guys kill me because I put stuff all over the packing material and they save all of the packing material.
We do. We do.
we're gonna frame all this.
I decked
Every time you guys
uh,
open up a box, it's like it looks like a tiny homeless encampment is just around you, just cardboard boxes everywhere.
The inside of
decoration
Dell's
boxes.
mattress.
Yeah, well, that's how they got in there originally. I sent them with the boxes.
Oh my god.
So I think my favorite piece of artwork, that oddly enough, is the Mick Foley one you did.
But which one?
The Mick Foley where he's jumping off the hell in the
Oh
cell.
yeah, so that was a fun one, man. And getting to talk to him about that, like that was probably my favorite thing. Was just like sitting there and having to explain to me everything, and then like being able to draw it and then show it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like."
So
it was
weird
a
thing
very,
is
very
happening.
cool-
I'm finally gonna get to meet him.
Oh, dude, he's such a nice guy. But, like,
Yeah.
you're gonna feel bad because he's very frail. Like years of him beating the ever-loving shit out of himself.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, it takes him like 20 minutes to get out of a chair, and like
Yeah.
you don't
No,
want to
it-
look at
that-
him while he's doing it because you're like, no, let the man.
It
have
takes
his
me
dignity.
20 minutes to get in and out of a chair too, so I totally feel it.
Right.
I'll be
Like, he
filling up with my
apologized for
cane.
holding
So.
me up once, and like he was like, "No, I'm sorry, it's taking me so long." And I was like, "Dude, I'm fat. It takes me that long just to do anything."
I mean, I've been in the same like cons as him a bunch of times, just didn't have the time. But like this time, I'm actually I'm making it a point to like do the whole like maybe even an experience with him. I'm not sure yet. It depends on money, but like I just need to, man. Like he's
Hands down, he's one of those people that you're going to have to say, "I gotta go." Like I have shit to do.
Always
If he just talks to you, like I
but
just went
I'm
over
that
there to say hi
person
to him.
too. So it's gonna be one of those situations where
Yeah.
like
You're
there's
going to have
butter-
a line behind you, and people are going to be like,
it's
really?
like you tie the piece of
People
buttered
didn't-
toast to the back of the cat and you drop it off a building and it just levitates at the bottom because you can't follow butter side down and the cat can't.
Yeah. So people thought that like I was his handler, like when he was there, because I was talking to him and he's like, no, sit down. So I sat down at his table and he just didn't want me to leave. We were just gonna talk about comic books all day. And like people are coming up and you could see people look at me like, who the fuck are you? Why are you with Nick Foley? I'm like, I'm not gonna sign anything. We're just here talking.
Yeah.
And he just didn't want to like he just wanted to keep talking. He just talked to me about his entire childhood collection, things like that, like everything he talked about. And he would just ramble on and on and on and on and on until eventually like his actual handler came back and was like, "What are you doing in my chair?" I was like, "Oh, very sorry. I was going to take your job."
That's fucking epic, dude. I'm really excited about it.
Okay, I have another comic book question for y'all.
Yes.
Okay, so IDW.
Yep.
All right. I have heard that they are having some issues staying afloat.
Kind of.
And it's been rumors on like, is this real? Was this a memo that got read wrong and some different things going on? But so when purchasing things like artisan editions and stuff from them, do they do anything special if you buy it from them, or if it's cheaper to buy like on Amazon or something? I mean,
Well,
are you supporting them if you buy it?
IDW is a weird one because IDW was a well-intended launch that was run by people who had no idea how money works. So they got to a point where they kind of needed funding. So they sold off large rights portions to these big companies. Like IDW publishes all of the kids' versions of Marvel comics now because Marvel didn't want to pay to publish them anymore. So when you're buying something from them, yes, it does go to IDW when you buy from IDW, but keep in mind that IDW is now so divvied off and sold off to all these different companies that helping IDW is really not helping IDW. Like IDW is going to exist solely because their name has like some kind of retention to it, but that's about it. Like they're pretty much on their last life as it is.
Okay.
If you're gonna buy stuff and you can get it cheaper on Amazon, it's one of those things where you're not really gonna save a whole lot going through like one of their artists or something. Just go through Amazon.
There's also the big writer issue with IDW, Boom, and a couple other because with the Fox Disney merger, a lot of writers got fucked. I'm talking to the point where like all the writers associations put out like especially in like the HWA that I'm in, Horror Writers Association, we got multiple emails like telling us like lawyers were trying to help the people in HWA like get their money, like get their royalties, like a lot of writers got just completely fucked with the merger and are still being fucked like right now by Disney in some aspects, like trying to get paid for the shit that they're owed.
That's not even just Disney though, and these big corporations. Like what's happening right now is you're getting a lot of these guys who are talking to these younger up and comers who had to represent themselves, and they're telling these guys like, no, that's not how this works. Like you've been being told that for like 20 years, so you just think that's how this works. So then when they do some investigating to it, like there was an artist collective, these guys that were doing all these comic artists, and they just had this mass exodus because come to find out they were getting screwed over for years on tens of thousands of dollars that the guy who ran this art collective, he represented all these comic artists, he was taking commissions, not paying them nearly what they were supposed to be getting paid, what they should be getting paid. And then a few of these younger up and coming guys started telling them how things are supposed to work, and now this company is completely bankrupt. You're going to see that more and more. It's just when people become educated as to how things are supposed to be, then you're going to have people that demand they get treated that way.
Yep.
And these corporations got by for such a long time treating people like shit. and that's why like Neil Adams and like Steve Ditko, like these guys fought to get the rights to these characters that they created back. And it's just now starting to happen where you're like seeing the estates get the rights back to these characters that they helped create and build. And it's going to be something that you see happening more and more. I think eventually you're going to start to see comics and like intellectual properties like this become significantly more independently owned amongst the artists and the writers. Much more than you're going to see like, Marvel owns all of this blanketly and they let these guys work on it. I don't think you're going to see that as much anymore.
Yeah, we had I talked to the people from Ghost Machine, and that is a huge group of artists, and we're still seeing more people that are finishing up a contract somewhere that haven't announced that they're leaving until they take care of everything.
Yep.
Moving over with them. James Tynan just started Tiny Onion, which he had as kind of a back thing for his Substack, but it's going to be a new media outlet for things. I think he's printing with I can't. It's all capital consonants. It's like Dusterly.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got some new stuff coming out, and it's nice to see that comic creators are taking back their comics or their creations at least. And
Yeah.
everybody will always want to read a Batman, and you can get some cred by writing for the big two and being like, oh yeah, I did this run, like Zdarsky's having a great time doing all of his stuff.
Yep.
But
But like you see these guys, it's kind of like that pyramid thing. Like for a very long time, people thought that the pyramid was, like the smallest amount is on top, things like that. But it's not. It's the other way around. These small guys should be on the bottom because these guys aren't producing anything. Marvel is the small piece. Like these writers are this big piece that should be the ones that are on top dictating how things work.
Yeah.
And now, without these guys, Marvel, DC, doesn't matter how fucking cool Batman is. If there's nobody there to tell you what Batman did this week, then Batman just sat on a fucking park bench like Forrest Gump. That's all he did. And these guys need to exist for these properties to even be worth anything. Like Batman's not gonna be nearly as fucking cool if there's no one there to write his cool quips or like write about how he sat on a fucking gargoyle and stared out into a rainstorm. So they need these guys to do this. I have real beef with Batman. But like
more than parent
you're
issues.
starting to see that though, and you're starting to see these guys come through. Like, yeah, I'll help you and I'll write these stories, but I'm getting paid for these stories. Like, you're not going to be getting paid for these awesome stories 20 years down the road when you release the 15th special edition of Hush. But I wrote Hush, and I get nothing from it. Right. And that's you're going to see become more of a thing.
Oh yeah, and the movies too, because they do shit like, and I can tell you that I got confirmation on this from both Mackie and Saltaris last year. The Ghost Rider movies when they came out, they're like, okay, we're gonna take this guy named Johnny Blaze and dress him up like Danny Ketch, and then nobody gets any money out of it whatsoever.
Yeah, a lot of that was intentional.
Because
can't charge people for amalgamations.
Yep. But so what's coming up with? They've been talking about The Man Who Laughs came into the public domain. And so specific tiny portions of the Joker can be brought into public domain now. But
not only that, but like Dark Knight's Metal. I mean, the Batman Who Laughs is literally the single most popular character that DC has created in the last 30 years, hands down.
And he was just all over Fortnite recently.
Like it's insane. That property went from being like what was supposed to be a one-off appearance in a book about all these different Batmen from the multiverse to being the single most merchandised character in 6 months.
When honestly, when I saw all that pop up on Fortnite for Fortnite skins, I was like, "What the fuck? That's
fucking the Mortal Kombat skins too." They put Noob Saibot. You can make him the Batman Who Laughs. Like this DC went so hard into that once they saw how popular it was.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no way that The Man Who Laughs becomes public domain. I guarantee you're going to see them do the same thing like Winnie the Pooh and Steamboat Willie. Like you're going to see these guys just sit there and try and absolutely 100 merchandise it into the ground.
Oh yeah.
how does that work when there's because I get confused because I know that like we were talking about licensing and keeping a title under your name. The way I associate it is like, oh shit, they made another Children of the Corn movie just so they could keep it.
Yes.
But if
In some cases, yeah.
but with comic books, how does that work when things are coming in? Because if they're still writing Batman,
Mhm.
can anybody, do how?
So you're gonna see so with movie rights and things like that. Like that's why you keep seeing Sony make these shitty Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man in them,
It's the
because
only reason.
Sony owns the rights to the Spider-Verse. So like movie rights and merchandising rights are very much like that. Just keep juggling it. Every 2 years, make something that has that fucking property in it so you can keep it.
Yep.
But with publishing rights, those are very, very different, where those get segmented down. You can have those split out to royalties for the person who wrote at this point in time, but whoever owns the intellectual property will still maintain like the lion's share of royalties. But you're going to see like a lot of these guys, like writers aren't going to write anymore unless they're going to get a piece of it down the road regardless. Like they're going to be attached to that story indefinitely. And that's not how it was for a long time. It was the same thing like Vince McMahon did to pro wrestlers, where he was like, no, you're all independent contractors, but I fucking own you.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing that Marvel did to all their writers and all their artists. DC did the same thing.
A
So
good
they just had these guys come in and they'd say, no, you can write this. You can be a DC artist, but we're not going to, you don't get rights to anything.
Oh, yeah. One of the greatest public examples is probably what happened to the Friday the 13th franchise, to be honest with you, between the Rioter and like
cluster.
Yeah. That's a nut situation. A very nut situation. The writer actually the name he owns Jason Voorhees as the kid character, but not actually as the Jason that we know, the actual mask wielding.
Yep, you can. And how are you going to claim Friday the 13th is an intellectual property? It's a fucking date. You can't own that.
Yeah.
But judge somewhere said you can.
Yeah. But at least they get shit figured out enough for the Crystal Lake TV show to go in production this year. So, fine.
Well, keep in mind, don't get too excited because Freddie had his own TV show, and that was.
Oh, Freddy's Nightmares was very different, and at least this is modern day. They can do a little, they can get away with a little bit more.
Oh, dude. Okay, do you remember the version of the episode of Freddy's Nightmares where the girl kept dreaming and when her dreams would change, history would change?
Yeah.
And there was her best friend with the ladder, and like she's like, "Are you going to the dance tonight? You got those great legs," and she's like sitting in a wheelchair. Like, why are you doing this to me? That's the one that sticks out. I always watched that at my grandparents, because when we were kids, we'd go up to my grandparents a lot, and Grandma let us sit and watch TV as late as we wanted. They'd go to bed, and we could just sit and watch all the late night television. And so I watched Freddy's Nightmares and Friday the 13th, the series.
And that's the thing. Like, I always love Friday the 13th series, even though it has nothing absolutely to do with Friday the 13th.
Nothing at all.
But it's
that's definitive proof, though. You just needed to have the property in.
Yeah, that was it.
We just went over this the other night on Tomb of the Terrible when we were seeing how many, like 40, over 40 movies have Amityville in the title.
Oh, it was after the show.
God,
Yeah,
so
that was
bad.
after show too, where we sat there for like an hour after we were off air, like looking at it.
All right. Unfortunately, though, I do have to let you know I have to get up early. It is John's bedtime.
We'll see you in 6 months, Sean.
We will see you in 6 months. I will talk to you all soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again for the happy dances.
I will send you a mattress if you absolutely refuse to buy one.
But you gotta wrap it in your boxes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have to get 17 boxes to get to your mattress, but like it's gonna be in there somewhere. But
That's gonna be a big ass box for a California king.
Listen, we'll make it happen, Kevin.
He's got free tape, man.
All in how you fold.
Explode.
Just like a body in a trunk. It's all how you fold it.
Okay. Wow.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. It was an absolute pleasure, and I cannot wait to do it again in 6 months.
See you later, man.
See you later.
Like, Ben. I love John.
Yeah. Me and John might be doing a project in the
Straight
near
out of
future.
comic book.
Nice.
We've been talking on and off about a potential project. So you guys might see me go into a new foray of writing in the near future.
Is it about killer beds
No, it might be now. That might be have to be the first one that we do.
instead
the
of
Dresser
killer
people-
tomatoes?
We're gonna call it Tales from the Mattress.
Boy,
Fun.
that twisted so wrong.
20 minutes worth of the show devoted to mattress intervention.
Yep.
That was
We had a lot of people watching at that time too. They're trying to figure out what was going on with Dell's mattress.
like, what the hell?
We're still trying to figure out what's going on with Dell's mattress.
No kidding.
In the comments, thought they were going to win one.
I was very confused about that whole thing. I was like, wait, what?
They want us to pay for their medicine and their mattress.
Okay.
Yeah, it was somebody who started off nice and then was a, hey, please give me a whole lot of money because I'm blah 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 blah. Oh, I would also like a mattress.
Well,
But
tonight's
listening to
episode
the
was
story about-
Dell's mattress with an interlude to talk about comics.
Right. Like,
But
what about any of us
Kentucky
looks like we have a lot of money?
again. I just love Ratatosker's tie. He's like,
The bow tie. Yeah. Bow ties are cool.
yeah, I went shopping with mom today and she was like, so, because she's Karma, she's like, I've been having a good week and I took the kids out and let them get some stuff. So let's go to Target and we can get some stuff for you and pick out, here's your limit. And so I got some nice towels. And then I was like, we were looking for clothes for Peanut because mom just got a brand new, I think she got a Nissan Rogue in that matte gray color that it's glossy, but it's matte. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
It's like a gunmetal gray.
Yeah, but it's not the shimmery underneath. It's like it
Okay,
looks
yeah.
like flat nail polish with a gloss coat over it or something
Right.
like that. Yeah. And but she doesn't want her dog to shed in it. So and she has trained this dog to love car rides and we got her a car seat and everything, but she's like, I don't want her to get hair in my new car. And I'm like, Mom, your dog molts every time she gets excited. It's a little mini half Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
And so she's really hard to buy clothes for. And so I'm like, I found she needs the post-op outfits where they cover everywhere so they can't bite their stitches or anything like that.
Yeah.
Covers it all completely. So we were looking to see if they had any of those, and then I'm like, oh, they have outfits for my squirrel. Oh, there's a new foster child for my squirrel. His little cousin, the flying squirrel, is going to come to town. And she's like, I'm like, you're the one who bought me 3 extra puppets and a house for them. So you can't be upset when I'm accessorizing. I can't keep getting more puppets. I need to get more things for the puppets that I have.
And that's exactly why Mattel made so much money.
Right?
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm getting it. Oddly enough, pet clothes do fit Ratatosker,
Very nice.
small dog outfits. So look forward to that in the future, guys. I hope you're excited about seeing more squirrel things. Squirreled off.
We
by the
need a
way,
top
in the
hat.
comics.
Ratatasker needs a top hat.
I will look. There were a bunch of leprechaun ones, but I wasn't gonna go there.
Nah, we need a regular old top hat, man. No, we need a stovepipe.
Fedora.
We need an Abe Lincoln level stovepipe hat for him. That's what we fucking need.
That would be fun.
You know what? The guy at the haunt last week, he actually had one on his head as he was
Nice.
chasing us with the axe.
But you need the one that's got the bird nest built into the top of it, because that would just be funny as shit to have on a squirrel.
I'm gonna be like, he doesn't fit on the screen, but
What is that? Fairly Odd Parents.
I love Fairly Odd Parents.
Dimmadome. What's his name? I am Fred something of the. Yeah, I will have to look that up because I can't
Doug
remember.
Dimmadome.
Yeah, Doug Dimmadome. His
got,
hat is. His hat is so incredibly big. Everybody goes to cons and they've been doing him, and they've had a contest of how high they could actually make these hats.
It's like the 50-gallon hat. Yeah.
I mean, it was like one was over 12 feet tall on top of his head.
Yep.
I'd like everyone to notice how Ron is just waiting to get bit. He's like, "Bite me, come on, Dracula, you
He's
can
waiting
do
for
it.
Bring
tomorrow.
it.
You can bite me. Oh,
Bring
he's
it.
buzzing for you."
Yeah, tomorrow's
Bring it.
our Legends by Night show about vampires.
Yep.
Ooh.
I'll be
Yeah,
in
and
there as soon as I can.
That's why I did the picture, because for whatever reason I was thinking it was tonight.
Yep. He got his days crossed, which happens when you're a vampire.
Could be.
It does. Okay, so we're going on 2 hours. We did an Unwrapped. I got some comics. They weren't great, but I got a Capullo cover, and that was really cool for Spawn.
Yeah.
And we learned a little bit more.
About your mattress
About-
situation.
I mean, you know.
Or you know.
And now we know where this comes from. It's like one of the springs in her bed that just randomly pops out in the background.
Right?
And knowing is half the battle.
What they don't tell you is that waiting is the other half.
Yeah.
All right, but let's go through the roster. I'm gonna go first actually, and then we're gonna skip Jenny because she's gonna go last. Because we'll go around this way. I just want to say, hey guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Please go check out the King Sumo thing. We really want to give you things for free. And there's even like, if you subscribe to Curtis M. Lawson's newsletter, you get something free just for doing that too. You get a copy of his book, Blackheart Boys Choir, which is fucking amazing. I own like
There's
5
layers.
different copies of it or something. It's
Layers to this giveaway, people.
Layers upon layers. You get free stuff in different places. You're just gonna love it. Just go get some free stuff from us, please. Like, subscribe, do it on the King Sumo. You'll get stuff.
Absolutely.
I am here on the Elliott Network for about half of the shows, I think, these days, something like that. Also, we're here with the Dorkening Network. I'm on Splash Pages this week. We don't have a guest. We're taking a short break from guests for just a week. We are going to be watching and comparing to the comic Kick-Ass. So if you're a fan of Kick-Ass, watch the movie, read the first arc or two, come talk with us about it. That'll be on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're also going to give you all your comic news, Drew's news. And I think we only have like one variant this week. So
I fucking love Kick-Ass, man. I'm excited to see that. That's awesome.
But you can find me at Carrie, Kari Sanders on Facebook. All my links to my author page, my other social media, all this stuff is here. Jenny usually answers it for me, and unless you contact me very, very directly. If you see an avatar that's a crow or me holding a squirrel or something, that's me. And Pyle, how we get hold of you?
You can watch me on TikTok because I've been starting to do a lot more on TikTok. You can find me here on the Elliott Network. When somebody tells me, "Oh, you should come," I should listen a little more. You can find me on Facebook, and I have an Instagram. I'm still not best friends with Instagram. I mean, heck, you can even find me on X because I'm even on X. But does anybody ever watch that anymore or look at it?
I don't know.
I did the other day, but
It's hard not to when it marks the spot, you know.
Well, if you go on X, it might mark the spot and you might come across me. I mean, the icon matches everybody else's icon. It's the little Reaper that has a headset.
Rock on. Ron.
Ron. Oh my, what is there to say about Ron? Ron has a new book out, and it's been out since February 15th, and I've had several sales on it, which I'm very happy about, and several people have said that they planned on reading it this weekend, though I have not had any reports of people actually doing so. So it could be just one of those things where they're placating me, and
I read it.
Well, I know you did, but you even read it before it was released. You know, you were one of the lucky few, I think. So Janie can give us a book report on my new book and tell us every reason why you should go buy it, because, you know, I need to make money. And, other than that, It's a good book, I
made
think.
graphics for it.
She
Yeah,
did.
and
She
tell
made lots of graphics for it
so you know why you should go get it.
because Ginny made graphics for it. That's exactly why. It has nothing to do with the stories whatsoever. It has everything to do with Ginny's graphics.
That was
There's
not
a
what I
little
was
rabbit
saying.
jumping around and going, "Hi, I just wanted to pop in here. You should read."
There
this
is a
book
story
here."
that takes place in a cemetery, so we're placating Ginny there, so she's happy now. You can find
Oh,
me
she's gonna hurt.
on random Owlite podcasts when I get the days mixed up and think I'm supposed to be talking about vampires and end up in a comic unwrapping episode. But that was cool. Learned so much about other people and comics and all of that just by watching random podcasts. You just never know the kind of things that are going to happen. Other than that, you can find me on my author page on Facebook. It's Ronald W. Gillespie Jr. author. And for all things that, I write and stuff and feel like posting. Mostly just like Pyle, I engage on TikTok. Outside of podcasting and writing books, I'm a professional martial artist by nature. I do teach martial arts. So, of course, most of my content is martial arts related on TikTok. If you're into that sort of thing, go check it out. Follow, like all my videos. Stalk my videos on TikTok and post random comments about how Aikido is better and it would never work in a street fight because that's usually what I get. But other than that, here I am. You found me. Good job. I wasn't hiding, not Waldo. But and now we go to Raz.
Yeah. Hi. How's it going?
Hey, Dr. Slasher.
Yep. You can find me wherever the fuck I show up at this point, which is really only in doing shows. I'm doing nothing except for podcasting right now as far as like appearances and such go. This is my hiding season where I just hide in the basement and I write things and I podcast. So that's pretty much it here on the Elliott Network. Things online. Reddit. I've been somewhat active again over on Reddit under the name It Sees You. I'm working on another story right now for Reddit at the moment. A couple different things over there on Reddit, actually. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And you can also find me under my new campaign. It's a charity campaign. It's called Beds for Dell. So we are working on getting mattresses for Dells all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, can I put my name onto that as well because I need a new mattress too.
You will legally have to change your name to Dell.
Well, I mean, I could do that, but it'd be like
when you get the paperwork done, let me see it, and then we'll discuss.
Well, it'd be more like Rondell, which would make me more like a 50 singing group, I guess.
Well, that works too. As long as Dell's in your name somewhere, it technically counts.
Okay, yeah. I mean, but mine's only a queen, and I would love to have a California king, so I'm going to put my name in
Oh,
the
yeah, this
hat
company
for...
only does California kings. Like,
Oh.
it's, yeah, it's strictly... Yeah.
Rondell Espy, there it is. I like it.
So how do I get money sent to this account here?
We're still working on that.
You send it to Raz. Raz will take care of it.
Just send me little cubes of mattress.
You can donate to our
together.
PayPal. That's how. Just donate a lot of money to our PayPal.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
There you go. It's a QR code that will legit take you to our PayPal donation page. Which, by the way, if you guys enjoy our shows, please consider donating to help us keep the lights on and to buy more awesome prizes like comic boxes from Silverback Graphics to send to you because those things cost money and we need all your money. Don't worry about your house payment, your car payment. That'll still be there next month. No worries. Send us money.
Keep your money, but send it to us if you feel like it. But do pay for your house because Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we're a little bit closer to the
No,
top.
just buy a couple boxes from John and you'll have enough tape and cardboard to build your own house.
True.
So if you give us our money and you keep winning boxes, you'll have a house.
Why?
It'll be
I mean, if you lose your house, I'm sure there's always room in Dell's mattress with the homeless community. Then they'll
they'll make room. It's huge. See, we pre-hollow out the mattresses in the factory at the before we send them out to the Dells. So it's.
So what you're saying is there will not be in this new mattress a outline of Dell that I could pour wax in and make a Dell figure.
Correct. There won't, unless you flip the mattress over, see, because the hollowed out point's on the inside. What these are is they're high density foam, like the really nice foam mattresses. But instead of the foam core technology, we incorporate this thing called bum core technology, where you get your own homeless person inside of every mattress.
Bum core.
I just make shit up and start talking. I have no idea what I'm saying, like ever.
So
I'm
this
high today, so
this new technology, is it great stuff that you just spray in the mattress?
no, it's actual. We just buy an somewhat expensive, memory foam mattress, and we just hollow it out. I mean, it's a pretty simple process. We don't
Kind of
make
like
the
my
product.
brain. The memory has holes all over it.
Yeah, and that's for better airflow for the bums. So they breathe in your mattress, and they've got a shelf life of at least 40 years. So 30 to 40 years. Some die early, but if it smells, don't worry. That means the bum core technology expired
It's
during the shipping
working.
process, and we'll send you a new one.
If
little
it's got
windy.
smell, it means it's working, right?
Yeah.
Dell passing gas in the middle of the night is where they get their oxygen from.
And if you find that like the mattress is too firm, right? There's a little spot you can open and just pour alcohol into, and then your mattress will totally relax.
It's like a waterbed.
Yes.
So what happens if it's smoking?
Oh, don't worry about that. That happens sometimes.
It's not legal in
just-
Nebraska going to get that one, though.
That's part of the filtration
That's
process.
other states.
That's just friction. She needs to slow down.
No, it's got this relaxing mode that it just gives a second-hand buzz.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean, well,
God.
some mattresses come like it's like they use like tea leaves and lavender, and they kind of work it into the mattress, and it has that smell. And it's a very popular thing. Oh, we just use marijuana.
Oh my gosh.
We just take pounds
Dude.
of marijuana and roll it on the mattress, and have the bum roll around in it, and before they get inside the mattress, see that pleasant, Mary Jane scented smell.
We need to have
Those are $50 extra, though.
we need to have a video made of how we're talking about this mattress.
Oh, I
being
bet you
as
I could make an
professionals.
actual commercial for it. That would be hilarious.
Dell
Hello.
looks so enthused.
That was
Do
our
you
new patent
ever-
of bum core technology.
Hugs
Is
for
your name
Krysa.
Dell and you have problems sleeping on your mattress that is old enough to clearly vote or even almost run for president of the United States?
Have you been shivved by your mattress?
Have you been shipped by your mattress? Your mattress served in Vietnam.
These pictures of like my. I have gouges that were like this long that took weeks to heal, and they left huge scars.
Dude, your
It's
mattress
Commercial.
is old enough that it's got a high school diploma and probably a college diploma.
Oh, yeah, it's probably at least 30
I
years
swear to
old.
God, I'm going to get online and get an honorary doctorate.
Dell's mattress has an honorary doctorate.
Where's your mattress?
Dr.
So
Mattress.
we have
Pathology.
Hugs for Krysa, milk duds for Rob, mattress for Dell.
Yeah.
Okay. Current campaigns, the Owl Light network is running.
Yep.
You need to send hugs to Krysa. You need to send all the milk duds to Rob because he literally bought out all of the places in his town.
Yeah. I had to go to another
Milk
town
duds.
recently just to get more milk duds.
Yeah. There is a milk dud crisis in Robland.
Yep.
So after all of that, Jenny.
Hear that, Rob? We're talking about you.
Jenny, where can we find you?
Yes.
You can find me on the Owlite Network. You can find me at Faycore Publishing. You can find me on
In a good
my
therapist office.
Right.
Friday with the
This is her
library in the
therapy.
blue box. Friday's Disorganized Library is my book group.
Therapy in the
And
blue box.
if you actually would like to read my books, please go find me at Jennifer Elliott.
Coming next week from a mattress near you.
The
Exactly.
mystery of the mattress instead of any.
And don't forget to look at all the fake propaganda that three of us are spreading everywhere.
Yeah.
I know.
Are we spreading propaganda?
Friday's therapy in the blue box.
Yeah.
Yes, we are spreading lots of fake propaganda everywhere.
Yep. We are.
I'm just going to a Frogman Festival next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm hijacking Raz.
Yep, we're gonna do some videos there.
Yeah, that Frogman Kickstarter, Grant Lankard, that was doing the cryptid things, that
Yeah.
is launched. So,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's Frogs Go to Loveland is issue 1.
We're actually going to Loveland for the Loveland Frogman Festival on Saturday. A week from yesterday. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm going to a pirate walk in Zanesville.
I love Zanesville, man.
So
I've been
I'll
to
be up
Zanesville in a
there
bit.
in full pirate attire.
Nice.
I'm going slowly insane.
Oh, I've been there for a long time. It's quite pleasant.
It's probably rust poisoning from the springs in your mattress.
Yeah.
I get tetanus shots. Hinata is like, excuse me, Mom.
It's like mercury
Mom.
poisoning in hats, but for beds.
So you go to a hospital, get a tetanus shot just so you can go lay back down for 5 more years.
Yeah. You got to keep them up, man.
Dude, it's cheaper than buying a new mattress. Those things are expensive.
No, in fact, your hospital bill that you had, or the doctor's bill, if you didn't have insurance, would have been far more actually than buying a mattress.
Okay, bitches. Yeah, I just said that. She's disabled.
Oh my gosh.
That was,
Yeah.
you know,
It's okay.
my mother.
That was disabled.
She's disabled.
You know, I need to make a background that just says the roast. I mean, I have all these different backgrounds. I even modified the village one. So now he has a headset on him. I tried to find a monster mattress, but I couldn't find one online. Otherwise, that's what the show
Go to
would have transformed into.
FurniturePorn.com.
What?
FurniturePorn.com is not porn, actually. It is literally just like lounges and couches like positioned on top of each other, just furniture with like a funny, hilarious little story underneath it. And it's been around for all of eternity, but it's furniture porn.
Well, see, and Raz knows what I want, though. Like, I'm saving up because when I do finally move out of this apartment where I've been for over 20 years now.
We're literally looking at the same bed frame. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I want one of those beds that they're like, they have like a chair on the side of them, and you can set up like your TV, and you have a bookcase attached to it.
Oh no, they got a
and
new
you
one
can sit
now
up and lean down,
where
and
a projector comes out of the top, actually, in the back,
I don't
the
need
top.
that much.
Oh, it's actually only like $60 or $70 more for that option, but they brought the price down on it tremendously.
Yeah, these are things where like you need the big bedroom because you have to set up the whole bed, and then once you do, the only thing that I have a problem with on those is that they don't have a box spring. It's just the mattress lies on a wooden frame.
Well,
and
there's
I
a
worry
reason for
about
that. It's not a frame;
Like,
it's a platform.
okay, well, I worry about the integrity of the platform.
Oh, it's solid. It's a completely solid platform. Completely. I know because I was looking into one more recently. It's completely solid. It's your best bet is memory foam mattresses, which is where kind of the world's going to right now. But they've also got the hybrid spring and memory foam combos. But that's pretty much what it's made for, because you lay the mattresses in it. It's pretty neat.
Okay, but it's not going to break.
No, God, no. No, it's literally a solid platform.
It's not like IKEA quality. Like,
no, it's like
you lay down the bed. And
I'm talking like a stage level platform, like a thick platform. Like you could probably stand on it and play a set of drums if you want. You know what I mean? Like it's a solid constructed platform.
So what you're saying? It's a type of platform that I could actually sleep on it and not bend every bar.
Mm-hmm. It's a solid wood, like hardwood, like solid fucking platform base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's really neat. And like the way it's all constructed, it all comes together and like you piece it together. It's got this big indention in the middle, and that's where you put the mattress in it. And it'll tell you what like inch level height the mattress is best for it and everything. It's pretty cool.
All right. So on that note, now that you know how to reach us, you know some new things about mattress. Hopefully you learned a lot about comics tonight. Had some fun. Thank you. I got nothing else.
Good night. May your camel never run out of water.
And stay
Heathen.
new to your friends. I'm stealing Raz's lines.
Yeah. And change your fucking mattress.